Hello and welcome to the Announcers Table's Classic TNA Impact Review, Episode 2, where this week we'll be looking at the 17th September 2004 episode of TNA Impact. I'm joined once again by Scott Weaver.
Hello again.
How are you doing, Scott?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. We're really getting going now with TNA. We're heading towards
flying.
Victory Road.
Absolutely flying.
We're on the road to Victory Road.
We're on the road to victory.
Yes. One thing, I know this is very early to start discussing this sort of thing in the podcast, but I've been looking at TNA pay-per-view names. None of them, they all seem like they're heading towards glory. So it's like Bound for Glory, it's Victory Road. We're on the way to glory, but we're not there.
Oh, we're going to get to glory, but we're not quite glory yet.
We never quite get there.
No. And even at Bound for Glory, we're not even at the glory. We're still bound for it.
Yeah, we're bound for it. It's going to happen one time.
There will be glory at some point. We're on the way.
But we'll never quite get there.
No.
But looking back at this week, we'll start off by looking at the UK charts once again. Eric Pride is dominating the charts with Call on Me still at number one.
He's still there.
Mate, I've had a look ahead. Get used to Eric Prides. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't realize it was that big of a deal.
Eric is the Triple H of the UK charts in 2004. But I had a look further down the charts. At number 2, new entry, Love Machine by Girls Aloud.
Oh, have you heard the Arctic Monkeys cover?
Yes, I have.
It's really good. It is really good.
It's better than you'd expect.
It's better than the actual song.
It's better than their new album.
Oh, wow, okay. That's something.
And at number 3 is American Idiot by Green Day, who will be releasing their album of the same name later this week.
Well, I do love a bit of Green Day.
Surprised that couldn't topple Eric Pride's.
One of the first albums I ever listened to was a Green Day. It was a Green Day album called Bullet in a Bible. And it was like a live... It was live in Milton Keynes, and I don't know why they recorded it in Milton Keynes. But
everyone knows about those.
Really, really good. And I think the whole album is on Spotify, so check it out.
Everyone knows those classic Milton Keynes crowds.
Oh, yeah. Up the Dons.
In the box office, Collateral, starring Tom Cruise, Jamie Foxx, Jada Pinkett Smith, and Mark Ruffalo, is at number 1.
I've never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it, but the reviews are really good. I was almost tempted to watch it.
It sounds like a good cast as well.
Oh, it's a strong cast. Unlike last week's, which I can't even remember the name of.
Open Water.
Open Water, right? Yeah.
It was Open Water, and I didn't even Google it, so I'm sticking with it being Free Willy in my mind.
Well, you'll never hear about it again. It won't get to the top again, so...
You say that now, in like 3 weeks, it'll be like, Open Water made a dramatic comeback.
In TV, J.J. Abrams' classic TV show Lost airs for the first time this week on ABC.
What? I've never watched it.
I've never watched Lost either. I was hoping that you had so that you could give some context, but nope, never seen it.
I know one thing about it. I know one thing about Lost, and it was like 9 series long.
Yeah.
And the very end episode, it turned out
spoilers
the
for
very
this
end
old show.
Yeah. The very end episode, it turned out to be all a dream.
Yeah, I knew that, and it's just like, well, now I don't want to watch it.
No, poor JJ.
In what is borderline wrestling news, Britney Spears has married the man who would go on to pin John Cena, Kevin Federline.
K-Fed. A man who John Cena's gimmick was built around.
I thought it'd just be interesting to throw that in there, because it's literally the only reason he pinned Cena.
What, really?
That he married Britney Spears.
Because he's a superior wrestler.
Well, that as well, but he wouldn't have got on TV without that.
I think he would have.
Vince didn't appreciate his work rate.
He's a 5-star machine.
Oh, yeah. He's the Kenny Omega of his day.
The Kevy Omega.
In video game news, Pokemon Emerald and Sims 2 have been released this week. They're absolutely pumping out the Pokemon games at this point.
Oh, Pokemon. That's 3 in a week.
That is 3 in a week, which is a bit crazy. But also Sims 2. That's pretty good.
Oh, I had Sims 2 Pets on PS2, which was really good because you can have like little dogs and stuff.
I'll be honest. Never played Sims. I had one for the Wii. It was
What?
crap.
You've never played any of them?
No, I've seen
Oh.
friends play them. I'd been built in the game like a couple of times, but I didn't do it.
I think something that everyone has to go through when they play The Sims is creating the like murder chambers.
Yes, trapping them in a pool and then
Yeah,
removing the stairs, that
yeah,
sort of thing.
concreting over the pool. Yeah, everyone does it.
Yeah,
Nothing to be ashamed of.
you've got to torture someone at some point. This is just a
I
good way of
mean,
getting it out.
it's either torture someone else or torture yourself.
Exactly. In sports news, Bernard Hopkins has defeated Oscar De La Hoya to retain the IBF, WBA, and WBC middleweight titles, as well as gaining the WBO title with a ninth round knockout.
I wouldn't have said that happened.
No,
Back on it.
I couldn't say I know who Bernard Hopkins is off the top of my head, but Oscar De La Hoya is a big name, and that's huge.
So one of the only reasons I know who not Oscar De La Hoya, the only reason I know who Bernard Hopkins is because Joe Rogan talks about him all the time.
Oh yeah,
And he goes on about how he was like one of the best ever. So
I mean that's a good sign if he knocked out Oscar De La Hoya.
I mean, it helps.
Yeah.
It helps. Was Oscar cross dressing at the time?
Um. No comment. In cricket, England have defeated Australia by 6 wickets to reach the final of the ICC Champions Trophy against the West Indies.
Well,
And I sent this to you in the week, and you said, well, there's no way that there was cricket in September in England. This was in England.
was it in England
Yeah.
in the middle of September?
Mm.
I mean, I guess it's because last year they did the test series quite late. So they
Yeah.
had a few 2020s and one days against Australia quite late. So I guess it could have been, but I just wouldn't have thought
Yeah.
they'd have done it.
The final is next week. Spoilers, we don't win.
No, I didn't think we did.
No. In football, legendary football manager Brian Clough passed away this week from cancer, age 69.
Wow.
Obviously, big to our area, really.
Yeah.
In the Midlands, dominated in this area. Yeah, just a huge, huge character. His son, up until recent, no, he still is. He's managing Mansfield today.
Is he still?
Yeah, he's managing Mansfield. But yeah, Brian's one of the best managers in English football in history, maybe in football in history. Yeah, huge.
Yeah, he had some of the best stories about him as well from what
Oh
I've
god, yeah.
kind of like
Insane man.
a pretty special bloke, I think.
Yeah, one that you would love to go for a pint with.
Oh, definitely.
In wrestling, I don't know if you remember, we discussed who the world champions were last week.
We did.
Well, there's a new world heavyweight champion.
Randy lost it.
Randy has lost it at Unforgiven 2004
Blimey.
to Triple H.
Yay.
The reign of terror continues.
It's time to play the game.
I had a look at the pay-per-view. The only real other match of note was Chris Jericho defeated Christian for the vacant IC title in a ladder match.
Now, Chris Jericho was who I said I thought the WWE champion was. And looking back on it on reflection, I don't think that was a bad guess.
No, I mean, he was in and around at this point, but yeah, he's the new IC title, new IC champion. Still feuding with Christian after they had a match at 20, and we're heading towards 21 now. So yeah,
and they've both wrestled this year.
Yeah,
2021. They've both wrestled.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, to be honest.
I was happy to see Christian back.
Oh, I was buzzing to see him back, but it just says a lot about where we are with new stars, unfortunately.
Oh, you could say that, but then you look at who Jericho's surrounded with.
Yeah, true. I'm going to say MJF is 23, 24.
And he's going to be absolutely huge.
It's so depressing.
It is, especially I turned 23 like 2 weeks ago, and I've not achieved anything compared to what he's achieved up to this point.
He's a special talent, and
he is.
Thank God for people like him in the industry, as much as it makes us feel old. And finally, to wrap up the news, unfortunately, on a bad note, the big boss man passed away, age 41.
Oh, I thought it was before this. Wow.
Yeah, no, 2004. He obviously was huge in the 80s, really good in the 80s. Like, he was a big man, but he was throwing himself around the ring.
Oh yeah,
Carried
that's
on.
what. From what I heard, everyone just said how athletic he was.
Yeah, no, I watched some of his stuff, and he is to say he's wrestling in like a police shirt in trousers.
Yeah,
He's absolutely flying around, especially for the size of him. And then he
and I
carries
mean,
on through into the Attitude Era.
and I think he made the most of a gimmick that quite a few
Mm.
people wouldn't have been able to run with.
Yeah, sometimes I look at wrestling from like an outside perspective, and you think of some of the names, and you think just how stupid they are.
Yeah,
So like Big
Ultimate Warrior,
Show, exactly. Um, one
just
that
the
occurred to me was
Undertaker,
Samoa Joe. Yeah,
Samoa Joe. Yeah, he is Joe from Samoa.
yeah. But yeah, he made it work. Like it takes a big man to be able to make that work.
Yeah,
And he did it. Carried it through into the Attitude Era where he started dressing like the Shield before the Shield arrived.
he was the Shield's dad.
Yeah, and he's a big part of one of my favorite pay-per-views ever, Survivor Series '98. He's in it throughout. So the whole plot of it is that like um, Vince is trying to get Mankind to win the title. So Big Boss Man comes and interferes in The Rock's matches and in Austin's matches. But actually, Boss Man is helping The Rock win without anyone knowing the entire time.
Yeah,
It's incredible stuff. It's really good. But yeah, sad day.
yeah,
And a very good wrestler that I do wish got more attention.
yeah. I mean, from like I say, everything I've ever heard's only been ever good stuff. So
Mm. It's like people like Keith Lee nowadays, where you look at the site. Obviously, Keith Lee's like a level above, but it's a big man who would absolutely fly around the ring. He was like the step in the right direction for people like that. So yeah,
I mean, you just have to watch Lance Archer from AEW
mm.
this past week in
Yeah.
his match against Phoenix. Some of the things he was doing in that match blew my
Oh
mind.
god,
Or he
incredible stuff.
walked across the ropes and did a moonsault. Amazing. And that
Mm.
he's huge. He is
Yeah.
absolutely
Oh
huge.
god, he's massive.
But we'll get to him.
I was gonna say, if only we could see more of him.
I mean, I want to see what he was like younger.
That would be interesting.
It really would.
But the show opens with an ad for Victory Road, which I found odd, opening a show with an advert.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, a lot of Hulk Hogan in the advert, which is weird.
Yeah, because Jarrett attacked him in Japan, didn't he?
Yeah.
He hit him with a. I don't. Was
Mm.
this when Hogan was in New Japan?
I presume so. It
I'd have
might have.
thought it was.
It
Or
must
was
be
it?
because of like looking at the background. That's where they do all the
Yeah,
interviews for New
the
Japan. But
press conferences and stuff.
yeah, I really don't know. He doesn't seem like he's a part of the company, but they're just going to throw his name out there because hey,
Oh,
if we've got Hogan, it looks great.
it's a clip, isn't it? It's something to show on the screen. And if like someone casual's flipping around and they see somebody that well known getting
Mm.
hit by the champion, it's a clip, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
going to drag people in.
yeah. But as we enter the Impact Zone, our opening match is Team Canada's Bobby Roode, Eric Young, and Petey Williams versus Team Mexico, who the commentary don't tell us who they are for a
No,
while, but we
I
figure out for
counted. I
ourselves.
believe it was 4 minutes into the match.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was I paused it and Googled it because I was like, who on earth is in this match?
I did exactly the same.
Mm.
And then that I wrote down there was like 5 names that came up. So I was like
Yeah.
writing down all the names, and then I was like trying to put a picture to the net, like the face
Yes,
of
I
the
did the
ring. I was
exact
like,
same
who is?
thing.
I was like, is this Juventud?
But we have Heavy Metal, Mr. Aguila, and Abismo surname,
Yeah,
who will not be said as I don't want to incriminate myself.
probably. Google it.
Yeah, if you want to know, Google it.
Yeah.
Team Canada make their way to the ring with Scott D'Amore. Scott is going insane.
He's had so much caffeine in every segment he's in.
Yeah.
He's just jumping all over the place.
But I had no idea there was a Team Mexico. I knew Team Canada existed. I didn't realize there were more teams.
So something that's going to come up in the future.
Mm-hmm.
They do like a world. Not it's not called a World Cup. I think it's called like the World X Cup or something.
Okay.
And they get teams from different countries. So they had a team USA, a team Canada, team Mexico, team Japan. I think it was team UK.
Okay.
But that isn't for like another like 3 years. So
Yeah.
this was a shock to me that to see a team Mexico coming out.
So in doing research, obviously, as you mentioned, Juventud was part of it. He was supposedly the captain of Team Mexico. So I had a look at why Juventud wasn't around. Basically, they have a partnership with, I believe it's AAA,
Yeah.
and Juventud is wrestling for AAA. The last time he wrestled for TNA was in February, and he's just ran off to Mexico. They sever ties with AAA in early 2005, and Juventud just quits.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So we're
so
not
he's
going to
just
get
run off to
this
Mexico.
win?
Nope, no Juventud
Oh,
for us.
I was looking forward to it.
Sorry to burst the bubble. So the match starts. All 6 men are brawling in the ring, and we go to adverts again. Odd, but yeah. Team Conda finally take control. Bobby Roode and Petey Williams work over Mr. Aguila. Heavy Metal is stood on the second rope for almost the entire match, just watching on, and I don't know what he's doing.
Isn't it a good name though?
It's a weird name.
Heavy Metal. He's a Mexican like kind of lucha guy from AAA, and his name's Heavy Metal.
It's bizarre. Like if it was in Spanish, maybe I'd get behind it, but I don't know. And commentary are putting over Bobby Roode huge as like, oh yeah, he's a heavyweight. He's going to be the heavyweight champion. It's crazy because like they're obviously talking about Petey being X Division champion, but yeah, they're going hard on Bobby Roode this early.
That was something that I really liked. Is like we said that they didn't introduce Team Mexico. They were putting over Team Canada
Oh my god,
hard on commentary. They were for like I've written down that for the first 5 minutes they don't even talk about Team Canada. It's all just team. Don't talk about Team Mexico. It's all about Team Canada and the storylines they're in.
yeah,
Saying
and
that
I
there's
mean,
tag teams in the tag division, there's Petey Williams in the X division,
yeah.
and Bobby Roode can be into the heavyweight division. It was just really good.
Guess who wins this match?
Team Mexico. No.
Demore and Williams attack Aguila behind the ref's back. Aguila finally gets the hot tag to Abismo. Great athleticism. Hits a springboard moonsault that looks a bit dicey.
He landed
Gets a
on
2.
Bobby Roode's knees.
Yeah. I was ready for him to start selling it, and it was like, oh no, he wasn't supposed to hit his knees.
No.
Yeah, everyone starts brawling again. Abismo and Aguila wipe out Petey Williams and Young on the outside. Heavy Metal tries to take out Demore, but he misses, which allows Roode to hit him with a power slam for 2. Eventually, Heavy Metal goes to the top rope, but he's pushed down by Demore with the hockey stick. Like he just pokes him. He barely hits him.
Nudge, yeah.
Yeah.
And Don West sells it big on commentary as well. He's like, I'm sick and tired of this hockey stick. He's selling it big time.
I presume someone's going to snap it at some point and they're going to go wild.
You'd have thought so.
But yeah, Roode gets him off the top rope and he hits a move. I don't know what it was. It looked like an AA, but better.
Yeah, I think that's his finisher for a long time in TNA.
I see.
He like spins it into a neck breaker. And, right, sort of a neck breaker. I like it.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. No glorious DDTs yet.
Not yet.
But yeah, they win. Wasn't impressed with Team Mexico at all. Like, I find a lot of lucha, like, obviously, good lucha is great. You look at Rey Fenix, you look at Pentagon, you look at Rey Mysterio, it's great. Bad lucha is horrendous.
Yeah, it's one of those styles. It's like the high flying kind of style where if something goes wrong, it's hard to make it look like it was meant to happen.
Yeah, yeah. And
it's like the Abismo's moonsault onto the knees was just you just couldn't make it look good.
But so far, this is probably the longest match we've watched in TNA history. So, yeah,
no, I quite liked it.
Yeah,
I didn't think that Team Mexico really did much to like sell themselves, but Team Canada did it a lot.
Yeah, I think you can almost tell that the tensions, or not tensions, but the relationship with AAA isn't that strong at this point.
And no, you'd have thought that if they really wanted to push some guys from AAA, they'd have had them at least win.
Exactly, yeah. But Team Canada, hey, building them even more.
Mm.
Can't wait to see where they're going because they're probably the most interesting characters that we've seen so far.
I think they've been characters that have been put over the most.
Oh god, yeah.
Did you
After the
notice?
match, oh sorry,
Oh,
go
sorry,
on.
carry on, carry on.
I was just gonna say after the match, Team Canada beat down Team Mexico, and unfortunately, this time they don't play Team Canada's music during the entire beatdown. I
Again,
was furious.
it's one of my notes is the beatdown isn't done to the Canadian national anthem.
3 out of 10. And then Hector Garza comes out to make the save in a beige polo shirt and beige jeans.
Mm.
He takes out Rude and Young before Williams gets in with a drop kick. Commentary say that Team Canada have outnumbered Team Mexico. They haven't. There's 4 people on each side, and one of them, Scott D'Amore. If anything, Team Canada's outnumbered.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can't count.
Well, they said it was 5-on-3. It wasn't. It was 4-on-4, and that's one of them is Scott D'Amore. So, unless you're counting the hockey stick,
You know what? Scott D'Amore was laying in some punches,
he was,
and
but he's not a wrestler.
did you see his jumping splits?
No.
Oh, so after Hector Garza hits the ring, he gets taken out, like you say, and Scott D'Amore, while everyone's just beating down Team Mexico, Scott D'Amore's just doing little dances, and he does like a little
Yeah.
jumping splits.
Oh, I saw him dancing. I didn't see that.
Oh, he did a jumping splits. It was like Randy Orton-esque. It was amazing.
Wow.
I really like Scott D'Amore. I think he's really good so far.
He's putting everything into this.
Oh yeah, I think that he's had a lot of cups of coffee before he goes out.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Or something else.
We're then shown a replay of the Wildcat Chris Harris and Primetime Elite Skipper winning the tag titles from 2 weeks ago. And then the ending of last week's show, minus Ron Killings and Conan.
Yeah, they cut them off.
Yep, I'm not sure why they came out still, because if they'd have shown them then, it would have been like, maybe they're an integral part of the story, but no, they've cut it. It just feels like it wasn't supposed to happen.
The only thing, so after last week's episode, the only thing I could have thought is that it was going to be a dark match.
Yeah.
So I thought that maybe they gave them the wrong cue. And they sent them
they
out
just came out too early.
and then they did a dark match. I don't know.
Because commentary didn't acknowledge them.
Oh, they didn't say a thing about it.
Yeah. But again, showing what happened on a pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, it really feels like they're still filling time. They're still figuring out how to make an hour last.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially without there being pay-per-views every single week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But next up, we have Amazing Red and Chris Sabin versus Kid Kash and Dallas. Now, we were speaking after the show last week, looking at what was coming up, and we're like, we know all these names. I don't know who Dallas is. They come out. Exactly. They make their entrance, and I'm like, no idea who that is. He gets in the ring, I'm like, hang on a second.
Hold on a minute.
That's Lance Archer.
That is Lance Archer. Now, I knew that Lance was in TNA.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in it this early.
No.
So that was a big surprise.
I know that in TNA he was called Lance Hoyt at one point.
Yeah, I think he was called Lance Rock as well.
But never knew about Dallas.
No.
So that was interesting. But yeah, no idea. Doesn't look nearly as impressive there as he does today. It looks like he's grown a foot.
He's not as like jacked.
Yeah.
And he hasn't got a red mohawk.
And that's always going to be a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, after that, Amazing Red and Chris Sabin came out, and I wrote in my notes, is Amazing Red the best do-ragged wrestler since Hulk Hogan?
Don't you dare discount JTG.
Oh, of course.
How dare you?
Of course.
You know what? The gear that Amazing Red wears is just, you could just sum up early 2000s independent wrestling with what Amazing Red was wearing.
Yeah. Oh,
God,
yeah, no.
Rag on. He had the the trousers that look like if you pour water on them, it will just slip off.
Yeah.
It's like bin bag material.
Mm.
Bright red is
Kind
like
of what Ray wore.
he's sewn his own name into it. It's like he had no expense paid on that gear. He paid it all himself.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell that, like, because obviously Amazing Red is renowned as one of the best cruiserweight wrestlers in the world, but you can just see why Vince wouldn't touch him looking like that.
Yeah. And he's quite small.
Yeah.
He's not the most he doesn't look threatening.
No, I'm not scared of
That's
Amazing
great
Red.
because I think that he's such a good wrestler,
Oh,
but
he's incredible.
he doesn't look like intimidating, so I can kind of see why Vince wouldn't touch him.
Yeah. But like just watching, like, I presume it's happened on the Indies when Ray took his break, but Rey Mysterio versus Amazing Red, what a match that would be.
I hope that's happened.
That's worth a Google afterwards. But yeah, that sounds like something that happened on Lucha Underground or something.
Oh, what would it be called though? What would Amazing Red's name be in Lucha Underground? It'd be like Amazing El Redo.
Excellent El Redo.
The very good red one.
But yeah, we go into the match. And again, so like Kash and Red are doing some great technical wrestling. And we just go to a break.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, come on.
Straight away.
Like, you can tell they haven't refined it. Like, when WWE, you can see, like, a big splash to the outside, and then someone's just stood there celebrating. It's like, we'll go to an ad break because nothing's happening. You're not missing anything. They haven't quite figured it out.
It's like they didn't know they were going to an ad break.
Yeah.
It's like they were told. Because in WWE now, I think they've done it for years and years and years. They get the ref to tell them, don't they?
Yes.
The ref,
the refs are in their ears.
Oh, you've got like 20 seconds.
Yeah. And
so
like,
do something big and then go to the ad break.
AEW have been at fault for it at times, but it's picture in picture, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Jim Ross loves some picture. Well, yeah, with John Cena. But yeah, Sabin and Red control Kash until Dallas gets a blind tag, and then we get a great look at Dallas's horrendous tramp stamp, which he now thankfully has covered.
I just want to dive in and say, you say it was a blind tag. Chris Sabin pulled him into that corner.
Yeah.
It's one thing that really annoyed me about this match, and it was such a small thing, but it bothered me that much. Sabin has 6 sides to put Kid Kash into and do whatever he wants to do. And he literally is like, okay, I'll pull you over to your partner.
Yeah.
And it bothered me.
That does actually, for me, that does bring up a good point. Like with people like FDR who are students of tag team wrestling, like the psychology of like tags and stuff like that would change so much for them. I'd love to see what they do with a 6-sided ring, like psychology wise.
It just changes the whole dynamic. It's a change to the dynamic of a match. It's like little things like that I noticed. It was just like it took away from it for me.
Yeah. I mean, again, like the issue is you have to get him in that corner, otherwise the tag doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you mean. Commentary during this match notes that Daniels and Storm have voiced displeasure regarding the tag team title situation to the one and only Larry Zbyszko, who's currently riding the SpongeBob ride.
Off that early.
Say again?
SpongeBob was that early?
Oh, I don't know. I took a punt at what might be at Universal Studios.
No idea what's at probably a Jurassic Park thing.
The Madagascar ride.
Yeah, probably.
Again, that's too early as well. But yeah, that's interesting where they're going with that. I'm not 100% sure. Could it be possibly like Daniels and Storm team up to take on Skipper and Harris, maybe?
I mean, 2 teams against their partners. Could be interesting.
It's an interesting dynamic, but it's... I mean, if you've got established teams, use them. I don't know.
And the way they're I know we keep going back to it, but the way they're putting over Team Canada.
Oh, God, yeah. They've got to be the next tag champ, surely.
They have to be.
Like, if it's not Divine and Eric Young, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Maybe Rude, but it seems like they want to push Rude further than that. I obviously don't know where the booking's going, but I'd love to see like an AJ Styles versus Bobby Roode. That'd be
it's just a good match, isn't it?
oh god, it's an incredible match.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sabin hits Nenzaguri into a tornado DTT on Dallas. Both men tag out and Red flattens Kash. And then he gets like a pin attempt, and I don't know if he was trying to hit a Canadian Destroyer or if this was an actual pin attempt, but it looked a bit messy.
I think, and I might be getting this wrong, so if anyone wants to correct me, please do. I think it was his finisher attempt. His finisher's called Code Red.
Yes.
It's kind of a Canadian Destroyer, but a lot safer. So how he hopped up onto his back with Cash's arms right around his legs, does that and flips through. So it's a bit like a Canadian Destroyer, but he lands more on his shoulders than the top of his head.
I think they were just a bit too close to the ropes for it to look great.
I just think it was a bit of a botch, really. I think he just slipped.
Yeah.
But I did like what Dallas Lance Archer did straight away, because they kind of messed it up and he went for the pin, but Dallas got in and broke up the pin, so it didn't look too bad to me.
Yeah. Dallas storms in with the big boot, as you mentioned. Lets Kash hit a frog splash to win. And now this is the longest match that we've seen in TNA. And it's probably the best match we've seen.
Yeah,
at this point.
definitely. I'd say so, yeah, for sure.
4 great wrestlers in there. Like Sabin and Amazing Red, insane.
I think that Chris Sabin as well deserves. I think he gets a lot of flack online for his promo ability, because he's not the most charismatic guy in the world. But consistently, he's so good in the ring.
Yeah.
You never see him really slip up. Like I mentioned earlier, the only bit of psychology, but that's a tiny little thing that I only just picked up on.
Yeah.
He's so polished, even now.
Yeah. At this point in time, he seems a tad directionless, because he's clearly in the X Division. He's clearly, like, I don't think he tags with Amazing Red regularly. I think they've just took 2 X Division guys together and went, go on.
So I think the reason they did that is because throughout the night they were hyping this X Division pay-per-view.
Yeah. I tried to ignore it.
Yeah, it got a bit much, because they put over Victory Road once, and then they put over this pay-per-view where it's all matches from the past.
Yeah, just a best of.
And before this match, they showed a video package for it. So I reckon it was just like, here's 3 guys and Dallas who were
Yeah, it was weird. Like, I don't think anyone's buying a pay-per-view to watch a best of.
No,
Like,
I don't think. And they mentioned on commentary a couple of times that they were doing next week a heavyweight one, and the week after that was a tag team one. So I think it's their way of trying to get more money in through pay-per-view sales.
Yeah,
I think, without having to put on live shows.
Well, I'm excited for. I'm not going to watch them because I don't even think they're on Impact Plus. I don't think they're on there. But I'm excited to see what a tag team one would look like. So I'm not sure. I'm still not 1,000,000% sure what the tag division looks like. They haven't done too great at showing me what it is.
No, and apart from a few of the teams we've mentioned, they seem like it's teams that are more put together.
Yeah.
Like, not on a regular
And Team Canada.
And Team Canada, yeah. Exactly.
But after this, we then go to a highlight package of the alpha male Monty Brown. Just a package of him hitting the Pounce. And I take back everything I said.
Yes!
Vordell Walker had a stinker last week.
He
sold it awfully.
I was so expecting you to be like, and I hated it.
No.
I'm so happy.
I don't think it's the most devastating move in wrestling. I don't think it's the best finisher in wrestling at any point ever. But yeah, it looked better in this highlight package than it did last week in that one-off.
So good. Did you notice as well that the way he says it in promos?
Yes.
I'm not going to try and replicate it, but if anyone wants to go back and find it, then please do. It's on Impact Plus and Fight TV. Just go for it. But oh my god,
my god,
it's amazing.
Yeah, no, and that probably gets it over more than any
Yeah.
do. Like you remember talking last week, you said like we didn't need this match with Monty Brown. We could have had a backstage promo, and you're right. Him screaming Pounce.
They could have just played this video last week.
Yeah,
That's all they needed to do.
that got him more over with me than his match last week did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And did you notice that the video package had a remix of "Down with the Sickness" by Disturbed playing
Yes,
over
I
it?
did. Yes, I did. I tried to remember what song it was, but I couldn't figure it.
Oh, it was the best because they would just they sampled the little bit where it goes "ooh ah ah ah" at the
Yeah.
start, and they just kept playing that. Oh, it's great.
We then get a recap of Jarrett retaining the heavyweight championship at the final weekly pay-per-view 2 weeks ago, and his promo last week, and the promos from Rhodes and Russo. Unfortunately, with Shane Douglas cut.
Yeah, that was a bit.
But they really, really, really linger on the outsider stuff, filling me with even more fear than I had before.
I mean, if I didn't point it out last week, it was definitely going to be pointed
Oh
out.
yeah, this week it would have
So
been knocked. Yeah, now they're knocking it over the head, and I'm like, oh,
when
no.
they play one bit in the video where it's just in slow motion of Jarrett going, "The outsiders."
He may as well just like wink and then like hold up pictures of Nash and Hall.
May as well just too sweeted the camera.
Oh my god. So next, out come the Elite Guard, and I thought, oh, we're getting a tag squash match. This is a tag team that's about to get squashed by someone. But apparently they're just security for Jarrett?
So I googled it as soon as they came out because they said up next is a match with Jeff Jarrett, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, right. And then the Elite Guard came out, and I was like, who are these? Like, is Jarrett gonna have a 3-on-1 handicap match and win? Like,
I've appreciated that.
yeah, but like, I have no idea. They did nothing.
And then yet another hilarious TNA jobber comes out in the shape of Lex Lovett.
Lex Lovett, yeah. Did you
Well-
notice, by the way, one of the members of the Elite Guard was Hernandez?
No, I didn't.
So you know Hernandez, who was in LAX with Homicide?
Yeah.
It was Hernandez.
Oh my god. He
At
wrestled
this
this week as well.
At this point, he was going by the name Hot Stuff Hernandez.
Oh my god. And he was part of the Elite Guard.
He was.
So
He
are
was the first guy that came out.
these guys hired by Jarrett then? Is that what we're going with?
So what I found on Google was that they were a stable called the Elite Guard, and it just says the 4 members were Jeff Jarrett, Hot Stuff Hernandez.
Oh, so he's with them.
Yeah. I think
They
so.
did nothing to tell you that Jarrett was part of the Elite Guard.
Absolutely. They just ran out, did a little
What?
run. But yeah, the members were Jeff Jarrett, Hot Stuff Hernandez, Chad Collier, and Onyx, spelled Onyx.
That's another Pokemon reference for you there.
Is it? I have no idea.
Yes. So, okay, I wrote my note about him being a hilarious jobber before this match started.
Yeah.
Lovett got about 20 times more offense than I expected and was taken far too seriously.
And you know what? He looked all right.
He did, but I was just expecting Jarrett Squash, get on the mic.
Yeah.
But
I
he's
was expecting, for all of the short matches that happened last week, I was expecting this one to be like 2 minutes.
God, yeah. No, I was in shock that the champion wasn't put over stronger than he was.
Yeah, definitely.
So as I say that though, Jarrett jumps him at the start without even taking off his jacket or he takes off the jacket, keeps beating him up with the title on, then eventually takes it off. Then they brawl on the outside. Jarrett chokes Lovett with the ropes, whilst calling out Brown and Hardy, which is interesting.
Good. I thought
that was good. Did love that. He chucks him over the barricade, which I'm just like, you're not wrestling someone serious here. You're wrestling Lex Lovett.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Jarrett just doesn't wrestle him like a jobber at all. And he hits him with a blockbuster before looking for a swanton, which Jarrett avoids. Jarrett hits the stroke and then continues to call out Hardy and Brown.
Did you notice when Jarrett hit the stroke, it took him absolutely ages.
Yeah.
He was holding for so long.
What do you think of the stroke?
Um, I I never liked it.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, I never liked it. It never came across to me as a convincing move that could put someone away for a
Mm.
3.
The only
But
thing I can think of is it's kind of like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but like I feel kind of similar with the Miz with Skull Crushing finale.
the thing with that is though, he gets both arms up
Yeah.
so that he's putting them onto their face. I know he obviously not, but with Jarrett, he's got one arm, so the guy could just drop and put his hand down.
Do you think it's kind of playing into the oh he's a heel, you're supposed to hate him kind of, or do you think it's just because Jarrett is a good wrestler? He is a
Yeah,
good
he's
wrestler,
definitely not bad.
but yeah,
I just think he could have had a better move than the
mm,
stroke.
yeah. Also, I know I'm trying to avoid swearing, but this isn't swearing. It's just a lot of Jarrett's stuff is very masturbation related.
Is
The
it?
stroke, slap nuts.
How have I never
Have you never put that
realized? I've
together?
never realized that. In my head, right, this is good. In my head, the stroke has never been masturbatory.
I mean, I guess the idea is that it's like it's oh he's got stroke in the company because everyone knows his position in the company, that sort of
Oh
thing.
my god, I've never thought of it this way.
Yeah,
Right,
I think
so
that's the idea.
in my how many ever many years of watching Jeff Jarrett wrestle and watching TNA, the stroke to me has always been like about the medical condition of having a
Oh
stroke.
god,
Yeah, that's
he's
what I
going to give his opponents a stroke.
that's what I thought it was. I thought, "Oh, this is gonna bring on a stroke."
Bloody
That's
hell.
honestly, in my head, that's for 17 years, that has been what's been in my head.
Yeah, for me, it's either masturbatory to go with slap nuts, or it's like, yeah, I run the company, I've got the stroke. You know what I mean?
I'm never gonna be able to look at it the same way.
So when Kenny Omega starts hitting the stroke, you know why.
Yeah, yeah.
We
You'll
then
feel better.
see a compilation of Petey Williams hitting about 7 million Canadian destroyers
Is there a better compilation? That's the best
over the Canadian national anthem.
it's the best thing in the world. Oh, the Canadian Destroyer is the best move in the world. I love it.
Why is the Canadian national anthem the most over thing in TNA?
Because it's the most over heel. The whole nation of Canada is the most over heel in this company at the minute.
Honestly, the thing people criticize heels who are like flippy,
Yeah.
and I get it. I love Team Canada. I want to root for them. I don't want to boo them.
I mean, I think if you're American,
That's fair.
it's completely different.
I suppose it's
You're
because
American
I'm
and you get these Canadians coming in saying that Canada's better and everything.
yeah,
Whereas
and
because
being correct.
yeah, being correct, that's exactly the point. We know that Canada probably is better.
Yeah,
So it's like, "Oh, okay, these guys are good." But if you're
I
American and you're all about, "Oh, America," or all that kind of stuff,
mm,
you wanna boo them.
I absolutely loved this. Like,
Yeah, it's so good.
if I don't see on every single episode something happening over the Canadian national, I'll be disappointed.
Oh, I want everything. I just want the national anthem on loop in the background of everything. Even when Team Canada aren't there, just play it for me.
Oh god! And then we get a replay of Petey Williams jumping AJ Styles after his match 2 weeks ago. Before we head into AJ Styles versus Alex Shelley with Goldilocks.
Yeah,
Who is Goldilocks?
I have no idea. I googled her.
They kept
Um
calling Alex Shelley her baby bear. It made me uncomfortable.
Goldilocks and the Bears, that was the point.
Yeah, and then Abyss was with them, but now he's not. I
Yeah.
don't know what's happened there.
So I didn't realize that they were like a little stable.
Mm.
I had no idea. I
If
I
it was
I
Goldilocks and the Three Bears, I'm gonna be so angry.
but there are only 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I googled Goldilocks, and
Mm,
I unless you've googled her as well, there's
I have not.
absolutely no way you will be able to guess what her real name is.
No idea.
Her real name sounds like a move that Ember Moon will do.
Right.
It is Moon Shadow.
Oh.
Her real name is Moon Shadow.
That's a better wrestling name than Goldilocks.
It just is, isn't it? That's
It's
exactly
so
what I
good.
thought. Like, if you had her coming out as Moon Shadow in like a bit like Ember Moon
Mm.
with like the imagery and everything, but no, you have her coming out as Goldilocks with her baby bear.
Yeah. It reminds me, do you know what Ricky Steamboat's real name is?
I do.
Richard Blood.
Richard, yes, his surname's Blood. Yeah, I
Yeah.
did know that.
Which Blood is a less realistic surname than Steamboat somehow, and yet that's his real one. But yeah, sorry, onto this match. This happens every time with AJ Styles for some reason.
Yeah.
Still no Ready to Fly.
No, but there was again the drum beats there. You just gotta wait.
But then we get some fantastic news before the match starts. I don't know if you noted this.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
We are informed that unfortunately there's no 6 points of impact
Yeah.
because Jeff Hammond's busy with the NASCAR
He's at
until
NASCAR.
October. Oh no!
I can't believe it.
How are we going to cope?
Sad. I'm so devastated. The one thing that we said last week was our favorite thing, and it's no longer
Yeah,
going to happen.
devastating. No more Jeff.
I love that they thought, right, we're going to go to weekly TV. How can we make it different? Right, we're going to get this guy. He's going to sit there and give us these things called 6 points of impact. Oh, how long is it going to last? Well, you can only do 1 week because from next week he's at the NASCAR. Okay.
But don't worry, they say he'll be back in October. I don't believe them, but
I think that he's going to get stuck at the NASCAR.
I hope so.
He'll never come back. Hopefully.
But we're just padding out time before Alex Shelley versus AJ Styles. What a match.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Oh my god. Because I
Really?
wrote down earlier in the card Amazing Red and Sabin versus Dallas and Kash being the best match we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And then Styles and Shelley just blew it out the water. Oh my god.
Before the match as well, because these got AJ Styles is obviously incredible and Alex Shelley is very, very good. So I thought this match was going to be good, but because of how they've gone recently with the short matches and putting over people that have already been on the show, so like AJ Styles was on last week and they talk about him quite a lot. I thought this was going to be like 3 minutes. AJ having the majority of the offense, but no, it really wasn't. It was really surprising and really good.
Yeah. I had like New Japan vibes from it, and it only lasted like 8 minutes.
Yeah, but it was such a good. It was like non-stop the whole 8 minutes. It was so good.
So my first note I wrote was, I'm 2 minutes 15 into this match, and I haven't written anything because I can't stop watching it.
Yeah, you could. It was. So the first thing I wrote was about the test of strength.
Yes, I've got the test of strength written down as well.
It's like every time I see that test of strength where the guys can both bridge and then pop up and do the lucha stuff with the kip up. Oh, it was so well executed.
Yeah, just technical wrestling for a solid 2 minutes, and we didn't go to ad breaks, thank God.
Yeah, and there was nothing on commentary saying, "Oh, but what about Team Canada?" It was like,
yes, they just put the match over.
Yeah, and putting over AJ and Alex Shelley.
God, I'd pay for 20 minutes of this.
Oh, definitely. And it was probably the best advert they could have done for the pay-per-view.
Yeah. AJ hits a huge drop kick on Shelley, and the camera cuts to Goldilocks, who is there smiling, then realizes, oh no, my man just got hit. And she's like, no, I'm not smiling, I'm not happy about it.
She looks at the cameras, it's like, oh, there's a camera, hello. And then she's like, oh, hold on a minute, I'm with Shelley and not AJ. Let me go, oh no. She literally went, oh no.
Yeah. That's the only criticism I have. Literally.
Yeah.
Styles looks to go for a springboard, but Goldilocks grabs his feet. Double knee to Styles' midsection before a Russian leg sweep into a roll up for 2. Incredible stuff. So smooth. Both men know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
Shelley looks for a back forearm from the second rope, but AJ turns it into a suplex, wrestling like he's a big man. Like,
he hit
incredible.
the German suplex he hit in this.
Incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like, if Brock Lesnar threw that, people would lose their minds.
He then hits a huge tilt-wall backbreaker and an inverted DDT, goes for the Styles Clash, but Shelley escapes. Shelley throws AJ into the ropes, but AJ total walls again into a roll-up for the win. Wow.
Yeah. Just really, really good wrestling. It just is.
We are not going to see a better match than this for a long time.
Do you know what? With the talent that TNA have on their roster, in the X division especially, I wouldn't be surprised if next week there was a match of similar, if not better quality.
Well,
I've not looked on what is on.
I don't know what's next.
Next week.
No, I don't know what's next.
I would not be surprised if it's just as good, if not better.
Yeah. Honestly, this is one of people talk about like the best matches that are under 10 minutes. So there's stuff like SummerSlam 2002, Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. Great match, one of my favorite matches.
Yeah,
I'd watch this over it.
Would you?
Yeah, Shelley and AJ killed it.
It was really, really good. It just everything they did was so crisp. It's like sometimes you watch wrestling and it's like they slip a little bit, or an arm isn't in the right place, or they don't hook the leg, so the pin doesn't seem as good. But this, everything they did meant something, and it was effective. It was so good, so good. If anyone listening, go find this match out because it's really good.
I tried to see if it was like online anywhere, but no one seems to talk about this match, and I don't know why.
I think it's probably because, like I was saying, the talent in TNA at this time and in the future, there's just matches like this every week.
Well, I can't wait. But yeah,
this is what made TNA like stand out for me when I was watching it when I was younger.
It was the wrestling show.
Yeah, it just was, and everyone in the X division is just incredible, and it's such a shame what they ended up doing to it.
Yeah, and to have these guys main eventing as well, it's huge.
It over big.
Yeah. But overall, I thought the show was better this week. They paced everything better. Matches lasted longer. With obviously Shelley and Styles delivering what I felt was like pay-per-view level stuff.
Carry on.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just saying the X Division is just quickly showing itself to be the best part of TNA.
Yeah, and which is what if they were trying to sell this pay-per-view so much, which they were throughout the show, then this is the best advert for it, like I said.
Yeah. No promo time this week, just building through matches, which I appreciate. I don't want 20 minutes of Jarrett talking about outsiders. I'd rather see him wrestle. Didn't care too much for his match but that's the only downside, really, besides the lack of Jeff Hammond.
Oh, the lack of Jeff Hammond will make any wrestling show like a dip in quality. But like you were saying, this show is more about the wrestling than anything, and they actually, as opposed to last week where it felt like they were trying to cram in as many matches and as many segments as they could. This felt like they actually took their time, took a step away, thought, right, what do we want to get from this show? Who do we want to put over? And what stories do we want to tell? And they did it, and it was so much better.
Yeah. There was less build to the world title this week, but it was a good way of showcasing what else TNA had to offer, and I think that was great.
And I think they still made the world champion look strong.
Yeah, I think they just realized how long they have on Victory Road. Like, it's a while. You don't need to reload that early with it.
Yeah, they have another 6 weeks of shows, so
yeah,
a lot of time.
But it's good showcase all round of what this show has to offer,
and it's making me even more excited to keep on watching it, which is the best thing.
And we hope you at home are more excited to keep on watching it. But thank you for watching. Our first episode went out this week, and we got a great response so far, and we can't wait to keep going. But yeah, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you. We are on YouTube and Spotify. Just search for the Announcers Table podcast and we'll come up.
Yep, we're also on Twitter as well. We're posting articles multiple articles daily. Scott's absolutely grinding on that. So yeah, check us out.
Yeah, hope you enjoy.
Yeah, that's this week's episode. Check us out next week for what I believe will be the September 24th episode, which we don't know what's going to happen, but we can't wait to find out.
Yeah, can't wait.